to the man behind that study, Campbell Harvey at Duke University. Campbell, explain.
Okay, well, you need to understand the setting here. There's plenty of evidence out there that increased minimum wage means higher unemployment. There's a classic study in 2007 by the National Bureau of Economic Research. You could look at the U.S., look by state. Different states have different minimum wage, and it's clear that there's a relationship. Higher minimum wage, higher unemployment. The European Union, the same story is repeated over and over, but the complaint is that, well, that's the past. What about the future? We hear talk, the president is advocating $10 an hour. Well, what we did is we asked the CFOs. The Duke CFO survey's got 400 CFOs. And we asked them what the implications were of various minimum wage hike scenarios.
By the way, Professor, you're an Einstein, but why CFOs? Why are they important? Explain why they're big deals.
CFOs are the key decision maker within the firm when it comes to budgeting. So
they go to the boss and they tell them we can do this, we can't do that. In other words, their input matters.
Is it. Yeah. Exactly. So I think they're the key people to ask. They're the ones that are basically in the mix for operations, and the results are quite striking. For example, 60%. Of the firms said that they would lay off employees with an increase in the minimum wage such as the president is talking about. 40% of them said that they would slash benefits to employees. 70% of them said that they would increase contracting out or outsourcing or moving the actual production outside the United States.
Based on what, Professor, it going to 10, I'm sorry, based on what, it going to 10 an hour or 15 an hour? In other words,
yeah, exactly.
Are there gradations?
Yeah, so just going to 10. Just going to 10. If you went to 15, the numbers are far worse. So basically, once you start raising that minimum wage, you have to pay the price. And the other thing that's striking in the survey is that they would ramp up their investment in labor-saving technology. So again, about 70%, given the $10 threshold, would ramp up their expenditure on basically robots. To replace workers. So they're going to compensate, and it's going to cost the low-income American worker if this actually occurs.
Well, they're already doing it now in this environment with the wage at $7.25, right? I mean, McDonald's now going to more automated restaurants, employee-less cash registers where you check yourself out. So it's already started.
Yeah, so it's really interesting. So we asked what they were already planning on doing in terms of labor-saving technology, and you would think that manufacturing would have the biggest expenditure, and it actually is pretty constant across different industries. So about 11% of the current employees are basically going to be made redundant by robots over the next 5 years.
Wow.
Okay, so 11% across the board. That, if you look at that number of employees losing their jobs, that is equivalent to the amount of unemployed we have today. It's a huge chunk of the population. And with minimum wage increasing, that is going to be ramped up. So what we're talking is more than 11.
Wow, wow, wow. All right, Professor, thank you very, very much. Now, you at home, you might agree or disagree with this, but these are from the numbers crunchers. These are the guys who make the decisions and bring it to the boss. You might not like what they're saying and what they're sharing with the boss, but that is what they would do if they were